Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to share what's new at the drugstore, specifically from Essence and Catrice. So if you didn't know, Essence and Catrice are both owned by the same company, and twice a year they update their product line with new products, and they also get rid of a few older products. And if you have followed me for a while now, you probably already know that I'm a huge fan of Essence and Catrice. So when I was shopping at the drugstore the other day, I picked up a bunch of new items from Essence and Catrice for spring and summer 2017, which I'm super excited to share with you guys. I've already tried out most of the products, so I think almost all of them. So in today's video I'm going to do a little haul, share some swatches, and also give my opinion on the products that I have tried. And before we get started, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I post a new video, if you want to at least. So yeah, without rambling on, let's go ahead and get on into the haul slash review and swatches. So I'm going to start off with Essence, I think, because those are the newest products that I picked up. So first we have the Essence Blush Play Sculpting Blush Palette, which looks like this. So this palette comes with a highlight, a matte blush, and then a shimmery lighter blush. And this is in the shade Play It Peach. There's also another one that is more on the pinky side, but of course I went for the peachy one. So the two blushes in this palette are amazing. I'm wearing them on my cheeks today. They're super soft and not too powdery, and I didn't have any trouble blending them in. But then this highlight is absolutely stunning. It is the one I'm wearing right now, and I was so surprised with how intense it looked on my skin. When you swatch it, it doesn't look like anything special, but on my cheeks, as you can see, well, I don't know if you were able to see it, but on my cheeks it is super pretty and intense. Oh, I think I applied way too much. The texture is also really soft and not too powdery, and I was actually really surprised when I applied this highlight. I love the shade of it. It has a peachy undertone, but it is still bright enough and intense enough. So yeah, this blush palette, I would totally recommend it. I mean, the blushes are great, but only for the highlight I would pick it up again. So yeah, Essence always puts amazing highlights in palettes, but then most of the time their individual ones aren't the greatest. So but yeah, this one is definitely amazing, and I would totally recommend this palette. I think it was about 2 or 3 euros, so super inexpensive. Also, don't mind my voice, I'm actually sick right now. Well, I'm starting to get sick. I'm having a cold and my nose is running, but I had to film this video today, so if my voice is a little bit stuffy, then I'm sorry, but I just had to film today, and even a little cold can't stop me from filming, so don't mind that, but I just had to film today. So this is the first item I picked up. The next item from Catrice is actually super exciting because I haven't seen any brands come out with something like this at the drugstore, and it is the My Must Haves palette. So this one has 8 pans, and you can actually customize it. So you buy the pans individually and then also the palette. This palette only retails for about it was less than 2 euros. So you have one with 4 eyeshadows, I think, and then one with 8. So of course I picked up the 8 one. And you can put eyeshadows in this palette, but also they have blushes, bronzers, highlighters, setting powders. So everything you would need you can put in this palette. So the individual pans are actually packaged like this, so in a little cardboard box, and also with a little lid. And then you can create your own palette. Now these aren't magnetic, you just have to pop them in. But I think this is such a cool concept, and I haven't seen anything like this at the drugstore yet. Right here are eyeshadows. Then I also picked up a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and a setting powder. The setting powder is actually really nice. I used it today to set underneath my eyes and also my eyeshadow primer, and it is amazing. The highlight sucks. It doesn't show up at all, and I don't know why they call it a highlight, so I wouldn't recommend that. But the blush is beautiful, the bronzer is beautiful, it is very warm, but I actually use it as a transition shade in my crease. And then these 4 right here are eyeshadows. So I have 2 champagne shades, a darker brown, and then also a rose gold shimmery shade. The eyeshadows are hit and miss. They're a little bit powdery, but the matte one is actually amazing. I'm just not the biggest fan of the shimmers. But overall, I think it is such a cool concept, and the quality isn't bad at all. The quality is okay. It's not the best that I have ever seen. The eyeshadows are a little bit powdery. The highlight sucks. But the rest of the face powders and also the matte eyeshadow is actually really amazing, and it really surprised me. So I think it's a super cool concept, and I would totally recommend creating your own little palette. Then also from Essence, I got the Volume Stylist 18-Hour Curl and Hold Mascara with micro styling waxes. I don't know what they mean with those waxes, but this is what the mascara looks like right here. and then the wand looks like this. So this mascara wand does pack on a lot of product, which makes it a little bit clumpy, but it does add a nice amount of volume in my opinion. It's not my favorite mascara ever, but it adds a little bit of volume. It's the one I'm wearing on my lower lash line today because I think it's amazing on my lower lash line. It doesn't smudge or budge. It is just not the greatest mascara I have ever tried, but it's not bad at all. I just wouldn't use this mascara on its own for that. It doesn't do enough for my eyelashes, but I do love this one to start off with and then go over it with another one. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this mascara, but it's not bad either. I hope this cold goes away really fast because I have so much work for school and it's not the time to get sick, so I'm trying to fight this, but you can hear it in my voice. So I'm really sorry about that. I know that's super annoying. Next from Essence, I picked up two concealers. The first one is the Essence Camouflage Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade Ivory. This is the one I'm wearing today on my dark circles, and to be honest, the coverage is great. It is medium to full coverage and it is definitely buildable. However, the wand, which is a doe foot applicator, doesn't contain a lot of product, so I have to dip the brush back in a few times to get the amount of product that I need. So that is something that is a little bit annoying, but it does have amazing coverage. Now the finish is a little bit drying on me. I have very dry under eyes, and even when I moisturized before, this can look very dry on my under eyes. So again, this isn't my favorite concealer, but it does add a lot of coverage on those dark circles. So if you don't have super dry under eyes, this might actually work for you. And the next concealer I picked up is the Color Correcting Liquid Concealer, and this is the Wake Up Effect. So this is in the shade Pastel Pink, and I picked this up to use underneath my eyes to correct my dark circles. I use it today underneath my actual concealer, and in my opinion it's not pigmented enough to make a huge difference. It's quite sheer, but it does look nice on the under eyes. I just don't think it does a lot of color correcting. So again, this product isn't bad, but I don't know if I would recommend it to anyone with really dark under eye circles. You can always check it out because it is super inexpensive, but in my opinion it doesn't do enough and it doesn't cover enough. Next from Essence, I got the Cushion Eyeliner. So this is in the shade Black. So this is a cushion eyeliner, which is super cool. So inside this little jar there is a cushion that is drenched with black eyeliner, and I used it today to create this line on my upper lash line, and it worked amazingly. I was afraid this would be a little bit too drying, but it isn't at all. The sponge is packed with black eyeliner, and I just had to dip my brush in this once, which was enough to do one eye. So it's super pigmented, easy to work with, and I think this is such a cool concept. So this is totally worth checking out if you're into eyeliner. This is going to be such a long video because I have so many products to go through. So yeah, moving on, the next one is the Essence Light Up Your Eyes Inner Rim Eye Pencil, and this is in the shade Cloud Dancer. So this is just a white eyeliner to put in your waterline. So this is the eyeliner I'm wearing today in my waterline, and I think it does an amazing job of brightening up my eyes and making them look a little bit more awake in my opinion. It is quite pigmented and I didn't have to build it up too much. I don't know if it will stay on my waterline because I just applied it about an hour ago and I just got this, so I haven't really been playing around with this too much. But I can tell that it is still there, so I'm really happy I was able to pick this up, and so far I really like it. Then Essence also released an entire line of new nail polishes called the Color Boost High Pigment Nail Paints, and I picked up this shade Instant Fun, which is a beautiful and vibrant neon coral shade. So according to Essence, you only need one coat of this and you're good to go, and they're actually not lying. This is so highly pigmented and you only need one coat for this to look super opaque. The only downside with this nail polish is that it doesn't really have the best lasting power. When I applied it on my nails, it already chipped the next day and I had to take it off on the second or third day because it just looked disgusting. So I really love that this has an amazing color payoff, but I hate how it chips so fast. So that's why I wouldn't recommend this, just because it has the worst lasting power ever. But on the other hand, they didn't claim that it would be long lasting, so I cannot blame them for anything. But I don't think I'm going to wear this a lot, even though this color is beautiful for the spring and summer. I just prefer something that stays on my nails a little bit longer. Then also from Essence, I know it's a lot of product, you guys, but I also picked up their eye and face palette, and this is in the shade Glow For It. I think this came in two shades, but this is the shade Glow for it. So this palette comes with 4 eyeshadows, a highlighter and a blush. The eyeshadows in this palette reminded me a lot of the eyeshadows that come in the All About eyeshadows, such as this one, which I hauled in the previous What's New at the Drugstore. But the texture of the eyeshadows in this palette is very similar to the ones that come in these palettes. So I am quite happy with these eyeshadows. They are nothing special, but they did apply beautifully on the lids and I didn't have any trouble blending them out. And the blush is also really pretty. It is quite light and very luminous, but it adds a beautiful like dewy effect to your skin. And then the highlight alone is worth picking up this entire palette in my opinion. So the highlight is absolutely stunning, and then once you apply it on the cheeks, it just adds the most beautiful highlighted effect. So again, I love this entire palette, but only for the highlight I would repurchase it. It is absolutely stunning. Then next I picked up their Luminous Matte Bronzing Powder. So I have the lighter skin tone version and then also the one that is geared towards darker skin tones. So this is called Luminous Matte Bronzing Powder because in the center it has a luminous powder and then around it has a darker matte bronzing powder. So this is the one for the lighter skin tones, which is the one I'm wearing right now. And then this is the one, if I can open it, then this is the one for the darker skin tones. I think these bronzers are my favorite found out of this entire haul. They are absolutely stunning and I have been wearing this bronzer ever since I got it. It is my favorite bronzer at the moment and I just think the quality is amazing. It lasts a long time on my face and it adds such a beautiful bronzed effect with a luminous finish that I just absolutely love. So I would totally recommend these powders because they're soft, they blend onto the skin easily, and they have such a beautiful luminous effect to them. So yeah, these ones I would totally recommend picking up, and I also really love that they have 2 varieties, one for lighter skin tones and one for darker skin tones, because the lighter skin tone one is actually quite light and I think this would actually work for people with fair skin tones, which is amazing. So yeah, I would highly recommend you guys checking these out because they're absolutely stunning and you need these in your life, trust me. And also they're super affordable. This entire haul is affordable, so just go ahead and get these because just trust me, do it and get these. They're amazing. And then I have one last product from Essence which I am super excited about, and I really wanted to try this out whenever I saw that they were coming out with this. This is the Essence Make Me Mad Lip Top Coat, which is super exciting. I have heard a few high-end brands, I think it's Smashbox, come out with something like this, but I just had to try it out from Essence. So I actually haven't tried it out yet, so I'm going to do it right now. So currently I'm wearing Ofra Bel Air liquid lipstick and I'm going to apply the NYX Intense Butter Gloss on top, and then we're going to see what this is going to do. Okay, so I just applied the gloss. As you can see, my lips are looking very shiny right now, but as you guys know, I adore matte lips, so I just had to try this out. So let's have a look. I guess you just apply it on top. Okay, let's try it out. I'm really excited to see if this works because that would be amazing. It's working! Did it work? Okay, I don't think this is supposed to work on a gloss, so I'm going to use... So I just grabbed a creamy lipstick. This one is by Topshop in the shade Macaroon. This is what it is currently looking like. As you can see, it is quite shiny but not overly shiny. So now I'm going to apply this on top and let's see what happens. Okay, so maybe I'm not using this right, but I don't think it is mattifying that much. I think I still have to play around with this a little bit more and see how I actually should use it, but so far it didn't really mattify a lot. So I will keep you guys updated in a favorites video or just in another video because so far I don't think it is doing a lot, but we'll see. So those are all of the products I picked up from Essence for 2017. So let's go ahead and move on to Catrice. So the first item I picked up from Catrice is the Rock Couture 24-Hour Extreme Volume Mascara. I have actually used this in a few tutorials already and I love this mascara. It is absolutely amazing. The wand is right up my alley. It is very spiky and rubbery. And this mascara adds a ton of volume. It doesn't clump, you can build it up, and it doesn't smudge either. And I love the packaging. It has all of these spikes on the top. And I just absolutely adore this mascara. It also comes in a waterproof version, which I might actually pick up to apply on my lower lash line once the weather is getting a little bit warmer, but this mascara is definitely one of my favorites so far. Of course, Catrice also released a few new nail polish lines, but the one I was most excited about are the Soft Blossom nail polishes with floral scents. So this is what the packaging looks like. It reminds me a lot of a perfume bottle. So these nail polishes are supposed to be long lasting with a floral scent and also a semi-matte finish. So this is the shade I'm wearing right now, and this is in the shade Cherry Blossom Avenue, and it is a beautiful bubblegum pink shade. Now in my opinion, the finish isn't matte at all. This has a shiny finish, but it actually smells amazing. Only on the first day you apply it, afterwards it just fades away. But I applied it today and it smells amazing. It has a floral scent to it. I love the packaging, and this nail polish has the best lasting power ever. So compared to this one has amazing lasting power. First time I applied this, I actually wore it for a week before I had to take it off. I love the finish, I love the brush, I love everything about this nail polish. I also love this shade for spring and summer. So yeah, if there's one nail polish range I think you should totally check out, it is definitely this one. Then also from Catrice, I got the Prime and Fine Nude Glow Primer. So this is with pomegranate oil, and it is supposed to give you an instant luminous finish. Now, if you have followed me for a while now, you know one of my favorite primers is the Catrice Beautifying Primer, which is this one right here. So when I saw they released another one that looked almost identical, I had to try it out. And I must say, I really love it. In the beginning, I didn't see a lot of difference with this one, but this one actually adds a beautiful glow to the skin. It is very illuminating, but also very moisturizing, even more than the one I was loving before. So this is definitely my new favorite primer. Then sticking to the bases, I also picked up the Prime and Fine Makeup Transformer Drops in Lightening. So they released these in a lightening version and also a darkening version, but since I'm very fair, I picked up the lightening one because I have a lot of foundations that are currently too dark for me. I thought this would be amazing so that I could finally use all of my foundations. There are a few companies that have released something similar like this, but of course when I saw that Catrice came out with this, I just had to pick it up. And to be completely honest, I actually really love this one by Catrice. It comes in a squeezy tube like this. It is very light. It does an amazing job at lightening my foundations without actually altering their original formula. So that is something I really enjoy about this, because at first I was really scared it would change my foundations, but it actually doesn't. It just lightens them up, which is amazing. If my foundation is very dark, I do have to use a lot of this product, so I don't think this will last me a very long time, but I am so happy that a drugstore brand finally came out with this. Then next I have the Catrice Light and Shadow Contouring Blush. So this is what the packaging looks like, and this is in the shade a Flamingo in Santo Domingo. So this is what the inside looks like. This is a beautiful coral blush that has a matte blush right here and then a lighter shimmery version right here. I just mixed both of them together, and it is a beautiful coral blush that is more on the nude side, which is totally up my alley if you know me. And yeah, it is a little bit powdery, but it blends beautifully on the skin. I just love Catrice for their blushes, and this one is definitely no exception. Then from Catrice I also picked up their lip foundation pencil, and this is in the shade Caramel Blonde to Go. So this is what it looks like. Mine has to be sharpened very badly, but I use it today to line my lips, and it is actually... And there's something. I hope this wasn't on my teeth the entire video. Please tell me it wasn't. But yeah, I used this today to line my lips, and it is super soft and creamy, yet it stays on the lips for a very long time. The only downside with this is that I feel like I have to sharpen it every time I use it. So this isn't going to last me a very long time, but I love the finish it has. I love the formula, and I am definitely going to pick up some more shades of these. Okay guys, so only 2 more products to go. I know this is a long video, but we're almost there. So next I picked up the Catrice Liquid Metal Long Lasting Cream Eyeshadow. So this is what the packaging looks like, and then this eyeshadow comes with a little doe foot applicator like this. And this is in the shade Champagne Shower. So this is basically a liquid eyeshadow that looks super intense and metallic. Now first I was afraid this was going to either crease on me or have a lot of fallout, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't crease on me and doesn't have a lot of fallout. But you do have to learn how to use this, because if you apply it on your eyelids directly from the tube, it is going to look like a disaster, and it is going to look super clumpy and just not very pretty. I just apply a little bit of this on the back of my hand and then use a brush, a flat synthetic brush, to apply it on my lids, and then it looks absolutely stunning. It doesn't crease, it doesn't smudge throughout the day, it doesn't have a lot of glittery fallout. So if you know and learn how to work with this, this is actually an amazing eyeshadow product and I have been really enjoying this. The shade is absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful champagne shade. And yeah, I would totally recommend these as well. Then finally we're at the last product, and this is the Nude Blossom Collection eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like. So this eyeshadow palette comes with a light brow bone shade, a darker shade, and then all of these beautiful pinky blossom eyeshadows. Now the formula of these is a little bit drying and a little bit powdery, and to be honest, these eyeshadows aren't my favorite. They aren't very pigmented. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not extremely pigmented, and a lot of the shades look similar. And I don't know, I just miss a little bit of depth in this eyeshadow palette, so this is not my favorite one. So this palette I wouldn't recommend. So yeah, that guys concludes this huge haul slash swatches and review of the new Essence and Catrice stuff that is now available at the drugstore. I definitely found a lot of hits this time. There were a few misses, but not a lot, and I was super happy with everything I picked up. So let me know in the comments down below if you have tried any of these products and what you thought of them. Also, if you want to read in-depth reviews on any of these products, don't forget to check out my blog, which is linked down below, because I have done a ton of reviews on these items. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos, and I hope I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah!